Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. This is Freedom Phantom, aka Maseeh, or vice versa. So today I just wanted to talk about um, some very interesting insights or thought-provoking realizations I had about the difference between extrovert and introvert, pessimistic and optimistic, and all these technically like they're labels of human beings and their personality types. But I wanted to talk about more in depth about mindset, not just how, um, not why we're wired one way, but what we choose that really defines the path we take in life. So without further ado, let's get into the video. So just to um, elaborate, I was born in Afghanistan, and I remember, I don't really remember, but there's glimpses of what was happening. It was around the time the Mujahideen were in charge, or they were trying to be the rebellion fighters against Russian invaders. So what happened was there was a lot of war. There was a lot of war in Afghanistan in the 90s, early 90s, maybe late 80s. I was born in the 90s, so in 93, and we couldn't sustain life in Afghanistan. My family, all my siblings. I have 9 siblings or 8 siblings. So we had to escape Afghanistan, and we fled to Pakistan. I remember fond memories of Pakistan, but the most traumatic memory was losing my father at the age of 5. He was gunned down in front of our house in Pakistan. He was waiting for his friends to arrive so they could play poker, and he was gunned down. And I remember being in the arcade and with my brother. Well, I was in the arcade and my brother surprised me. My brother that's a year and a half older than me, he came behind me and he surprised me, like shocked me. And then I realized it was my brother, and we started playing video games at the arcade together. And someone said, the arcade manager or the owner said, Yama's father has been shot. And me and my brother didn't really hear it, and the guy kept repeating it. He shouted it. We were well known in the neighborhood. I mean, my father was. He was a good man. Then he kept yelling it, and me and my brother like, that couldn't be our dad. Yama's my oldest brother, not the brother that was with me there. And then we realized it was our dad. They assured us, yeah, go home, run home. Your father's been wounded or injured. So while me and my brother were running towards the house, towards it's a very rocky place in Pakistan too. They don't really have like roads like we do in America. I tripped and I hit my head, and I kind of passed out. So my brother Mansoor, he picks me up and he's bringing me inside the house. And I wasn't like passed out to the point where I wasn't able to see what's going on. I was just like, I couldn't function, or I couldn't like walk. And I was a kid, so I was probably crying at the time. He took me in his arms and took me inside the house. And there was a bunch of people around my mom, and my mom was hysterical, and she realized her husband was gunned down in front of the house. My dad's friends came. They didn't come in the nick of time, but they came and picked up his body and took him to the hospital. But when I went inside, me and my brother went inside. My mom was hysterical. She was crying. Everybody was around her. I remember this image in my head. It was like my world came crashing down. But that wasn't the end of suffering or whatever in my life or my family's life. In America, we came to America. We were sponsored by a church. We met. I was trying to make sense of this new world. And in 2014, no, not 2014. When I was 14, I'm 32 now. So about 17 years ago. Really bad at math, if that's the right number. But over a decade ago, I got diagnosed with bipolar disorder, and kept ever since then I've lost touch with reality and stuff like that. So that's the backstory to that, to all the things my family and I had to endure, and I'm still here. I'm still trying to make the best of whatever we have, whatever situation we're in. And I was wondering why I'm like that. Like why am I more positive than the people around me in America or even in my family? There's a lot of more optimistic and positive people, don't get me wrong, but I've gone through this isn't, by the way, a sob story or anything. I'm just giving backstory to it. For someone to go through all that and still having what is it? An outlook on life, an outlook on life that is optimistic and not pessimistic or doom and gloom or something like that. It makes me wonder what causes that. Is it random, or do we get to choose? Does the labels that are the society or the world or even the English literature describe us as? I can't speak today. I really can't. Describe us as. Do they even define who we are? I know I'm optimistic. I know I'm a positive person. I'm a friendly person, and I'm just curious what makes that happen. If I've been dealt the hand I have. I know a lot of people that haven't struggled as much, and they're not doing good. They're not doing so good. So I've been through war, loss, and struggles that could have broken me, but instead they built me. I could have been bitter, but instead I chose to adapt. That's really what I want to talk to you guys about. It's not about personality, it's about mindset that really shapes us. This really isn't about optimistic or pessimistic. It's not even about naturally being a positive person. It's about having the mindset to see what's in front of you and not sit there and like overthink it or complain about it or like a struggle or something. Mountain lions don't do that, you know. They don't go. They can't do that. They don't speak. But if I'm sure if they had the ability to speak, they might have said something like, "Yeah, it's kind of a little chilly now. It's too hot. I'm a mountain lion. I need heat." But they don't do that. They don't have it. But like that's my spirit animal or something. I don't know. I like dragons too, but we'll talk about that another time. But they do what's necessary. They have to do what's necessary. If they let the terrain bother them, they wouldn't climb the mountain to like get food or something or find shelter or something. If they didn't fight the other mountain lions, you know, there's animal kingdom. If they didn't, they're not naturally people that. I mean, they're not naturally the animals that just lie there and take it. They don't wanna settle for that. The mountain lion doesn't even rely on their own pack. They don't have a pack. Like, it's crazy. So they rely on what they have, what they can do in the moment to improve their life or sustain their life or maintain their life. And I'm not saying don't rely on your family and their support system and everything like that, but the decision to make a change comes from within, from you. Well, from it's not the outside world that is like, sure, there's influences in this, that, and third, but we have to make have the thought process that we're gonna get through this. We're not gonna sit there and wallow in our sorrow. Okay, if you've watched this video till this far, I just want you to know that you are capable of making a change. You are capable of improving your life. And if this video resonated with you, you could please write in the comments what struggles you have, and are they shaping you into the person you want to be, or are they trapping you into a caged boxed up person that you don't resonate with. You don't want to be that person anymore. And whatever, I would like to hear either side of the story, and just want to say, we live in the information age. Whether you want to be optimistic, more positive, or you want to have a certain figure, body type, you can achieve it. It's going to take incremental steps to get there. You got to climb the mountain that is you. I forgot to mention that part in the video, but I'm reading a book, or I'm listening to the audiobook called "The Mountain Is You." There's no Mount Everest that will make you feel better climbing and figuring out what depth you can go, other than the mountain of yourself. So with that said, without further ado, thank you for watching. Freedom Phantom out.